All right, so we learned in this action-packed Torah portion that Pinchas, he became a Kohen. Pinchas became a Kohen. God made him into a Kohen. And then after that, the Jewish people were counted. There's 600,000 and 1,700. And then there was the commandment of dividing up the land of Israel with lots. And then we had the story about Tzalafchad, the daughters of Tzalafchad, that they didn't have, their father died in the desert, and the land of Israel was being apportioned only to males who entered the land of Israel from 20 to 60, and their father wasn't there, so we got a special. And then we have all the laws of the inheritance. Then we have the laws of, then we have the laws of the inheritance. Then we have the whole story that Moses asks God to pick somebody to replace him. And God says, pick Joshua. Joshua gets picked. And then we come up to the constant offering, the Tamid, which is offered every day. And then we have all of the offerings of all the other offerings for the holidays. So let's have a look at what these other holidays are. Right, just in a quick way. Every day of the year, holidays, Shabbos, Yom Kippur, Pesach, there was no less than 2 sheep offered up every day, weekday, 2 sheep. On the holidays and on Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, etc., Rosh Chodesh, there was offered up more. And that's what we're going to learn here. What exactly is this more? It's offering. Now, in addition to being offered up more, it was also offered, with every offering was offered a certain amount of meal, solet, and sometimes other things, but certain like bread offering or meal offering, and wine was also offered. And then there was also offered up extra offerings. Extra offering. All the holidays had extra offerings, musaf. The first day of the month had a musaf, and Shabbos had a musaf, an additional offering. And that's when the big changes come in. So let's have a little look and see. Okay, first of all, we did this yesterday, the constant offering. The offering was offered up every single day. Tzavas b'nei Yisrael, God says, command the Jewish people and say to them, my sacrifice, my bread for my fire, a pleasing spirit. It pleases me when you do what I say, and sacrifice it in its proper time. This is what you should bring every day. 2 sheep. 2 sheep, 1-year-old, no unblemished tamimim, as a complete offering. One of them should be done in the morning. One of them should be done approaching evening. And together with that, you also brought 1/10 of an ephah solet. Now, an ephah, as far as I understand it, ephah is about, an ephah is about the size of 2 pints, I think. Or, no. According to Chaim Noah, it's like 2 liters. 2 liters. That's 1 full ephah is 2 liters. And a tenth of that is like 1/5 of a liter, right? 1/5 of 1 liter. So that's a mincha, and you soak it in oil. Well, how much oil? A revit, a hin. A hin. Now a hin, 1 full hin is also like 2.5 liters, something like that. And a revit means a half of a liter. Okay, so this is the constant offering that's made on Mount Sinai, that was commanded on Mount Sinai for a pleasing spirit. How much? Now you have to bring the wine offering. How much is the wine offering? 1/4 of a hin for each of the sheep. The second one also in the evening, the same thing. Okay, here we go. Shabbos. On Shabbos, in addition to what we had there, what we just explained, you also bring 2 more sheep, 1-year-old and 2 Isserons of solet. Okay, amounts of solet. That's done. That's the extra offerings on Shabbat. Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh is a little bit more. Here on Rosh Chodesh, you also offer 2 oxes, 1 ram, 7 sheep. Every Rosh Chodesh, the first day of the month. And 3 Isserons of meal soaked in oil for the ox, 3 Isserons for the ox, 2 Isserons for the ram, 1 Isseron of the meal offering. This is for the sheep, for a pleasing spirit to God. And what about the libations? You have to bring wine for all the offerings. 1/2 of a hin for the ox, 1/3 of a hin, and this is going to be a standard measure. For the libations, 1/2 of a hin for the ox, 1/3 of a hin for the ram, and 1/4 of a hin for the sheep. And also you bring a goat. On Rosh Chodesh, you bring a goat. But then now all these are explained, and I don't want to take so much time to explain. Here it says, every seir, anytime you bring in all these offerings for all the holidays and all these things, when you bring a goat, why is the goat? The goat comes to forgive on impure things that were brought into the holy temple, or any of the items, the holy items that were defiled. Everything is exactly like it says in the Gemara in Shavuot. It's a little bit different. The seir says it's a seir to God, La Hashem, to tell you that this brings on a forgiveness for things that only God knows about. God only, you didn't know about it, not in the beginning or not in the end. The person went in to the holy temple and he stayed there for a little and came out. And after he came out, someone told him that he was impure, that he had touched a dead body or he had gone over and he didn't know about it. He didn't even know his sin. The only one that knew his sin was God. That's the goat that is brought on Rosh Chodesh. Okay, in the first month, what's the first month? The month of Nisan, when the holiday of Passover is. On the 14th day, you make a Pesach offering to God. On the 15th day, that's the holiday. Right? On the 14th, you sacrifice the animal. On the 15th day, there was the nighttime, you eat it. 7 days, you eat matzah also. On the first day, it's a holy day. Don't do any work. Passover, Pesach. Two oxes, 1 goat, 7 sheep, and the same exact measurements for, you bring the same measurements of meal and wine for each of them. For the meal offering, you bring 3 Isserons for the cow, 2 Isserons for the ram, 1 Isseron for the sheep, for each one of the 7 sheep that you bring. And this is in addition to the constant offering of the Tamid. You also have to do all those. This is what you have to do for 7 days of the holiday of Passover. But as understood, you cannot eat bread. This is a pleasing spirit. Okay, on the 7th day of Passover is also another holiday, and it explains what you have to bring on the 7th day. Same thing. On the seventh month, that's already Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. So it explains what offerings you have to bring then. On the first day of the month, you don't do any work. That's Rosh Hashanah. Even though it doesn't call it Rosh Hashanah, but bring an offering. It says a cow, a ram, 7 sheep. The meal offerings, like we said before, 3 units for a cow, 2 units for a ram, 1 unit for a, and also a seer izim, chatat, and you also bring 1 goat for a sin offering. Okay, this is in addition to the fact that it's the first day of the month, so you have to bring the first day of the month offerings, and also you have to bring the regular 2 sheep, which are in every day. You have to bring the sin. On the 10th day of the month, that is Yom Kippur. Also, you bring sacrifices on Yom Kippur, etc. On the 15th day of the month, on the month of Tishrei, this is, now you have a lot of sacrifices. Now you bring Sukkot, the holiday of Sukkot. You have to bring, then every day you bring, the first day you bring 13 oxes, in addition to the regular offering, 13 oxes, and then next day is 12 oxes, until finally in the end you bring, for the whole course of the 7 days, you bring 70 oxes. And he explains what it is. On the 7th day, you bring seven oxes. It says, because you're going down from 13. And then there's one more holiday. On the 8th day of Sukkot, it's a holiday in itself. You don't do any work, and you sacrifices 1 cow, 1 ram, 1 sheep. No, I'm sorry, 7 sheep. 7 sheep. And the bread offerings and the wine offerings. And this is what you have to do for all the holidays. Moshe said to the Jewish people, everything that God commanded him, and that ends this week's Torah portion. You can look and see the Rashis and the explanations, but that generally are the sacrifices. Now let's go and have a little look at the Haftorah, of this week. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. There it is. Yes. The Haftorah this week, maybe we can even stop it. I don't want to stop it. Make a little pause here. Just one moment.